Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Jessica Jones. I'm the Cryptid Huntress, and welcome in to this beautiful Wednesday. My goodness, we have such a lovely show for you guys today. We have our good friend, my good friend, Mr. Sean Bond of the Psionic League here in the studio today. And boy, we are going to be covering several different things. You guys are going to be in for a huge treat today. Sean lives in Mexico now, and he's been down there for a while going on archaeological digs. Okay, and he has in his possession some ancient alien artifacts. Okay, so we're going to be seeing some of those today. We're going to talk about that, of course, and I cannot wait. He was just showing me some right before we started the show today. But there's something that I find super duper interesting, and I think you guys will too, and that is mermaids being eaten by the elite, maybe. So it sounds totally wacky and wild, but there's some viral videos going around and everybody's, up in arms over it. So we're going to be talking about mermaids being hunted and eaten by the elite. Now, could this be real? Could it be symbolic of something else? We're going to cover that today. Because I have some interesting opinions on it, and I'm sure Sean has some interesting information as well. So, you guys get ready. This is going to be a wild and crazy show today. Wild and crazy. Where's a couple of wild and crazy guys? Wild and crazy, a guy and a gal today on the show, and so thank you guys so much for being here today. And if you guys would like to follow along with all of my shows and check out the archives, I do have a website. That's thecryptidhuntress.com. And shout out to everybody watching on X right now. We are streaming on X again. So we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and X Live from here on out. And so thank you guys so much for being here. We're just trying to, I say we like there's a bunch of us over here. It's just me. It's just me. It's just the Cryptid Huntress. I'm the one-woman show. But I am streaming now on X, just broadening the base a little bit more. And I love that platform. I really do. I think it's great. And so if you guys are not already following me there, it's Huntress Jessica on X. So it's not Cryptid Huntress. That was already taken, apparently, when I signed up a couple years ago. It's Huntress Jessica on X. So follow me over there and you guys can watch all my shows there as well. Okay. And I have a Patreon if you guys would like to support my work. It's the Cryptid Hunters over on Patreon. And I also have a shop on Etsy. It's called War Woman Goods. So thank you guys for all your support. It means the world to me. Okay. Well, I guess let's just get on to the show today because we have so much to talk about. And we got Sean here with all these amazing artifacts. So we're going to be talking about those artifacts today because he's been on his archaeological site. I don't know how often he goes out there, but we're going to get into that today. And also we're going to be looking into the whistleblower claims of worldwide elites paying high dollar to dine on real life mermaids, not dine with mermaids, to dine on mermaids. And so Sean Bond is the founder of the Psionic League and Silver Cord Spiritual Science. He's a spiritual healer who aids others in holistic healing and spiritual growth. Problem solver and spiritual conduit for teaching others about multidimensional awareness and interaction with all of their individual DNA technologies, higher functions and operation systems within anyone's soul sparks, shards of their multidimensional self to help them manifest in the physical. You guys can find Sean and get any of his services at the psionicleague.com. And he has a wonderful YouTube channel where he goes live pretty often. It's called the Psionic League, or just Psionic League on YouTube. Please help me welcome to the show my good buddy, Mr. Sean Bond.
Hey, everybody. Thanks. Thank you, Jessica, for having me on the show. Honored. It'll be really fun. A lot of stuff. Love your work. And a lot of the things I have here will confirm what you've been going into with some of the cryptids.
Oh, that is fantastic. Right before we went live, I know I was a couple minutes late getting the show going because I got mesmerized. You actually mentioned that on some of those artifacts that you have there are actual dogmen.
Yeah,
it looks like the cynocephali, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you want, I can show you some of them. I can also do share screen so that we can get rid of, like instantly, because this topic, in the beginning I was like, oh, is this real? Is this fake? People could be playing in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I go into the ground myself at the sites. Sometimes I have to cut through roots to get to them, like meters down, and it's like, oh my God, just break through the ego boundaries of belief and the matrix around us. It's like, wow, these things exist, and this is connection and proof of ancient aliens. So yeah, I can get into that. Let me see if I can share screen.
Okay, well, how about this? Let's back up just a little bit, and you tell everybody first of all, welcome, Sean. I'm so glad to have you back here. And we're going to have a really fun discussion today on all this. And the mermaids is actually kind of a sensitive, sad kind of subject, actually, that I want to get into.
We got mermaids on the artifacts too.
Do you? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it one bit. By the way, Dan Guest is in here. Dan from the UK. He says that you are a literal wizard, and I think you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and everyone can be. I teach people how to. Just subscribe for free on my Psionic League YouTube, and there's tons of abilities, like over hundreds of videos on people demonstrating superhuman abilities, and then your subconscious will record the data and you'll be able to reverse engineer how it works. I teach in a lot of the videos how to do it, a lot of things, and I'm building up more and more overpowered abilities. Very useful. I'm overpowered in healing and exorcism and depossession especially, but like getting into deeper things like telekinesis and the more targeted abilities in this planet, there's a lot we got to unpack because of the super hybrid tech of the human experiment. It's awesome. Thank you for that.
Well, I think it's really cool hanging out with the real wizard. I got to hang out with you in person. We had a good time up in Montauk, right? We had a big old crowd up there. And
you're really awesome. I loved how gung ho you were and getting out into the field with everything. I really appreciate when I see people like that. And also, your son was cool. So.
Oh yeah, well, you got to meet my son down in Florida. That's two different. I got to hang out with you twice. Okay, so yeah, my son's really cool. He needs to go into wizard training. Actually, we'll get him into wizard training. I could probably teach him myself some of this stuff.
Yeah, you're a wizard yourself. The cryptid field is definitely a big part of magic because a lot of these beings have their own, like animals in general have a type of everything. Every living creature has a thing they're good at in energy emissions. And when interacting with these cryptids, we can get upgrades in the animal medicine that's coming at them, especially if they like us. And we're a super hybrid, so we have a lot of their DNA too in the library. So then we start activating that. There's all these goodies in the DNA for it.
Yeah. So, oh, I love that. Well, I'm the cryptid huntress, and I've been out in the field, investigating cryptids. And one of our main things I was telling you right before the show started today, I was like, well, my team is. The base of the research for one of my main team is telepathy and psychic abilities, and using those psionics, I guess is what you can call them. I didn't call it that back then when I first started going out there with that team, but we're using basically psionics with the cryptids out there, and there's definitely a connection. Okay, and that's how the best way for us to communicate with the cryptids out there is through the power of the mind. Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with that. Whenever I do that and I sense something close by in the area, and I'll make contact, and then I'll have a lot of reactions with it and like bursts in the ear of telepathy and more dramatic amounts of it. And I teach telepathy online. So for anyone that wants to unlock that more, it's to more engaged. It's like having like a psychic telephone, and all the messages you've ever had telepathically are still stored in your heart, waiting for you to access. Yeah, if you can, I share share my screen and I'll show you some video. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to see all the different critters and cryptids and everything you've got on some of these artifacts that you've got here. And I promise you guys, we're getting into the mermaids in just a minute. This is something that it blew me away yesterday. All right, let's share the screen.
All right, so can you see this screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so didn't mean to show this first, but yeah, whatever.
Is this you actually digging up some of these artifacts?
Yeah.
This is cool.
Whoa.
Cool, y'all.
So it has the ET with wings on the front and DNA helix.
Wow.
Oh.
Here's a dogman or a Nubis type humanoid Canis major.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
So that would be very intricate artwork on these. And wow.
And here's a mermaid tail right here, and there's a long skull type of mer person on the bottom of the jaw. And I have a skull here, so I'll show you that too. And it's got this is a crystal skull. I think there's way more than just 13 crystal skulls based on what we found, and I think there's a lot all over the place. But they are incredibly powerful. My God, they're like a consciousness in itself. This one started talking to me recently and shared me a bunch of things. Like it asked me why it was being empowered and awakened and given a bunch of energy and purified, especially this time of turmoil. And I asked it, I was just wanted to empower it. I didn't want to have any obligations for it. And here's a UFO right here. I got, if I can freeze frame it. Yeah, it's like right here. And I'll show you the skull. And there's like different ET of different types on the side of it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot to these skulls. They're overpowered. Then I asked it. I didn't want anything. I didn't have any agendas. I wanted to be its friend, and it was free. So I wasn't forcing it to do anything. And then it liked that, and then I said, what do you want to do? And then it gave me like a list of sorry if there's glitching with this list of like 30. Man, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't want me to show these Facebook. Here's another one. I think this is a different one. Let me just make sure. So the things it had in goals, it wants to raise our civilization to a type 5. I'm gonna get rid of share screen and see if I can fix this first.
Okay. Yeah, take your time.
Thank you. It wanted to raise our civilization to a type 5 civilization, whatever that means. And I'll actually list the things that had it. Let's see here.
Yeah, Barry talks about that a lot. Barry Littleton talks about how the different types of civilizations and stuff. I mean, we're kind of in this great awakening right now, right? Not to say that we are the most advanced civilization that's ever been on this planet. I don't believe that one bit. But yeah,
there's a lot of Earth.
Yes, but we're working on it, right? We're gonna this actually relates to the mermaid topic that we're gonna get into in just a little bit, as to what the deal with mermaids is.
Oh yeah, and I'll show you some of the mermaids I have. So it had 20 things it wanted to do for humanity, which was nice. One thing for Earth, which was to bring Earth to homeostasis, and then 11 things for a crystal skull collective that needed an power to make their powers around the Earth much stronger. They're very targeted, especially by the Vatican. The 20 things for human they wanted to amplify is in evolution, growth, ascension toward back into our greater state of dimensionality, opening up the DNA. It seems to see it like an antenna that receives a whole bunch of energy, greater love and finding each other's love interests, increasing lifespan, sovereignty, freeing and empowering the soul, love, knowledge, peace, goodness, spatial capabilities, which was nice, healing, connection to source, being able to see more, remembering, immunity to mind control, and empowering the mind to a new level. Do you see this handbag?
Yes.
This Gucci of the gods?
Yes. Would you say the Gucci of the gods?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's Gucci.
So this is in Mexico, and we're finding artifacts that have cuneiform, Sumerian, and Egyptian hieroglyphs on it, and images of Egyptian gods. So there's a connection between this species that visited Earth a while ago that visited both Egypt and Mexico. So there's like evidence for that. And this handbag has a being in it like this, and this long tail is like a spirit form, and it's with its wings, long skull, and sometimes a face mask or nose piece or beard or whatever it could be, because I've seen different images with different kind of things on it.
Wow.
But here, and do you see this one? This has a UFO.
Yes.
A black obsidian mirror in the center, a tree of life with corn. There's a whole thing with the gods giving the people corn, and there are many different types of the different colors and the nations. This guy has a venerable headdress on of power and a staff. This spirit body is coming from maybe Saturn or a ringed planet. Seems to be other planets around. This might be plasma, winged with legs, long skull ET, Nubis dogman kind of Canis with wings, which is cool, and little guy, and they're all touching DNA, which this is some of these artifacts that were found in the same spot have been carbon dated by my friend Mike and some scientists, doctors, and the ones they found were 1,000 years old, 10,000, 18,000, and the oldest is 19,000 years old, and they were able to find carbon in some of the adhesive between some of the devices, and yeah, so some of these are ancient. They also did carbon dating on the fake ones, which the mafia likes to make fake ones.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, because anything of value, they'll make something of it, and they're just like rated around 5, 10, 20, 50 years old. So there's definitely a difference. Okay, so I got this pyramid we found that also has a capstone on it, but that's not on the shot. But it has these two rings in it that have a strange alloy, and it might be having copper and brass, or even the Atlantis metal called orichalcum could be a possibility for. We're gonna test it, but it's got these ETs on it. And there's like also this face apparatus with the long skull. Here's another. He's like holding up maybe another layer of reality and staff of authority, and like this goes to like a sun or a plasma sphere or light or energy shining down and seeing the creatures of the earth and the nourishment of the earth. Okay, here's more of that. And it's also got an eye of Horus on it. And we dug this ourselves, so it's like, wow, holy crap, this is in Mexico. And my friend Mike has a bunch of eyes of Ra. And we also found which I'll show you a symbol that's like a combination of them. And so it has a lot of Egyptian hieroglyphs on it. A lot of these artifacts glow in UV light. So I will show you this guy. This a nice friend of mine. This little statue, but he's just shining UV light on it, and it starts glowing.
Very interesting. Well, you hear about things like that in Egypt as well. Some of their artifacts glow in the dark like that.
Yeah, some meteorites. There's also a whole world called fluorescent minerals that I didn't know existed until now. And there's a bunch of different types. But these are like, some of them are like the whole stone and in different ways and different colors, and some are like powdered in. So it's like there's some stone urgy going on. Now I'm going to show you this really awesome video that I barely show anyone. So there's a lot here. So I want to get your opinion on what this looks like.
Okay.
So besides this, so this is, I'm going to show you this more up close, but this is a mer person. And then here's the symbol. That's the Eye of Ra and Eye of Horus combined together. And there's a bird person here. There's like maybe an earthly kind of long skull and a dog. Maybe Dogman or Canine right there. And there's an Anubis figure here. I'll show you that more in depth. But under this is what I want you to guess what this looks like. So tell me.
Okay.
Tiene otras piedras, es lo que veo.
What does this look like to you?
Oh, that looks like the alien from Alien versus Predator. Right, from the Alien movie. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like the baby alien that spurts out people's chest.
It kind of looks like the alien.
The chest alien, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool.
Look at
That's one of the more powerful objects that I have. It is not what I thought, because I was like, oh my God, is that alien?
Xenomorph.
Yeah.
Thank
Is
you.
that
Yes.
negative? I got to be cautious with that. It turns out to be very nice. So it appears a lot of these species are, like long souls, are fairly close to each other in relation. They have a lot of genetic offshoots for interacting with different worlds and atmospheres and like terrain, like under oceans or different dimensions or land faring. And so some of them, whatever the ET that represents alien, which made me question, like, okay, did our whole culture with that change? Like what? Like did the guy that made the design for alien get it from somewhere else? And I'll just touch on this. So there's a headdress like Egyptian. He's got a handbag, Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Yes.
This, we saw this get dug up. So it's like, wow.
We have so many questions in the chat right now too. So many questions. And first of all, okay, Maureen is asking, how do you determine if these artifacts are real? Is it just from digging and the carbon dating on them?
Digging them up and carbon dating, right? And there's also other types, like there's like a type of thing that you can tell if they were dug up with no light around. You can check for the lighting on the soil between when's the last time the light hit. And there's some other ones, like they emit electromagnetic frequencies, so and the radio signals and microwaves. So there's some rare energies they're emitting that get picked up. And yeah, so and then you can pretty much tell a lot of times between the fake ones and the real ones, because they got a lot of signs. Also, the people, different people dig in different ways. So they're sometimes they dig fast, and there's shovel marks on some of them. So that's another good indication. But here's another bird person that glows, which is another good indication, because I don't think they can really do that with the fake ones.
Wow, that is amazing.
Con poquito, si no necesitas esa lámpara, por ejemplo, si la sacas al sol, la dejas una hora y te dura como, así sin mentir, te dura como 3 horas así con la luz.
Can you do it again?
Wow. Ooh, very interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
Who's that? And then let's see here. Yeah.
También, lo que te comentaba.
On the yeah, I'll actually just show you that thing I have with the dog person, so that you can go more in depth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Here-
Now, can I ask you a question,
There's-
Sean? Like, does the government allow for people to go and do archaeological digs like that? Just anybody to go, or
the
do you have to get some kind of
The
license?
team I'm
or-
with has special permission. There are
Okay.
different laws in different places depending on the governments, but a lot of them are trying to cover up. Like in Egypt, they dug around the Great Sphinx, and they found a whole underground city attachment. And they're like, okay, just cover it up. So there's some hostility. The team I'm working with brought some of the artifacts to the museums, and they said they would not display them. They just put them in the basement. So there's a cover up in a lot of them, which is a shame. There's things, if you get the artifacts and make a museum, then it's more allowed. And we're forming a museum as an example for that. And a bunch of people like me are doing that.
Okay.
Cool. And yeah, we do sacred ceremonies with the places that we find them, and get the spirits to like us and give them wholeness, healing, and whatever they want. And then they let us know where some of the artifacts are, and then we mark them. And then some of the places we marked first, we found the big pyramid. And I was like, oh my God, it's working. I love the treasure finding magic. But here's like that xenomorph kind of guy. This one seems to be more of an original version of that species, more nice, more psionic. So it has divinity versions of itself. This is very powerful. It has a lot of things working involved in it that connect to divinity. I do believe there are weaponized races that are meant to be wipe out of an entire planet in an invasion and breed really fast. Though I've mostly seen those as insectoid species, and there's some in the future that are abducting people and taking their DNA and then making clones of them and sending them to fight a war in the future. With like some weaponized arachnids and type of ant, overpowered ants.
Spiders and ants?
Yeah, and
taking
some
over
beetles.
the world.
Mostly with like colonies that were colonizing outside the Earth, but there's some possibilities of them trying to invade the Earth in the future. That's being countered, but there's a lot to it.
Oh, yay. That sounds fun.
Yeah, right.
I'm just kidding.
It's
That's why
very,
people have
very
like an inherent
scary.
fear of spiders, I think. That's why a lot of people just cannot stand. I don't mind spiders. I grew up on a farm. There's spiders all over the place. So I've never been really scared of spiders. I don't particularly want one crawling on me, but
Yeah, you don't want the giant spiders. They're
definitely not.
overpowered with fear psionics. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this, I don't read this species has the parasitic thing where they lay an egg in you and it bursts out of your chest. So I think that was more
Just alien.
coming over from like things they saw in like parasitic wasps, which is also a weaponized race that have like a giant version that's really scary. But anyway, so
Well, if people don't already know, these movies that we're showing are soft disclosure, right, Sean?
yeah, exactly.
Like Alien versus Predator. We've been talking about the Glimmer Man and Predator too, and even the quantum stealth technology, where they, some countries like China, for instance, probably I'm sure the United States has it too, but they have like suits that are invisibility cloaks, like suits you can put on from head to toe. So
Yeah,
same thing as a Predator. Kind of.
advanced technologies and
Yeah.
like that handbag. There's a lot of versions I've scanned that can be advanced races that are able to compartmentalize their technology to a single thing like an iPhone and carry it around. There are ones that can amplify teleportation and time travel, like there was soft disclosed in the Umbrella Academy. Ones like in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, where you have a pocket dimension in the bag and then you can store things. There's like the bag of holding. Here's the UFO thing that was the alien was in. So it's got the mer person on it.
Oh, right.
It's holding a really cool like reddish crystal. I'm not sure what that is, but it's really overpowered. And this has some advanced tech in it. It's got the lower half of this has an AS in it, which I've never seen in a physical object. So this is there's 3 classifications I found with some of these objects, which is first class is made by ETs. Second class is made by a hybrid of the ETs for interacting on a world in their atmosphere, or hybridization with the local species like humanity.
Okay.
Third class made by a type of humanoid of the past that is venerating something they saw. And this one is a type 1. Most of the objects I have are type 3, though. They're made by humanoids.
Whoa.
Either during Olmec, Toltec, Aztec, or Mayan. So here's, let's see, okay, let me just point that around. The bird person.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, that's okay. Here's the bird person with the double eye of Ra and Horus. So there's definitely a type of avian species that's visiting people, and there's multiple varieties of these, such as the Horus falcon people, some type of eagle person, and the ibis, like with the. So here's another. This could be, a type of long skull. I'm thinking like maybe elemental structures are on this. This could be in Earth. It's holding a skull, which might be a crystal skull, and there's a canine on its back. And then it's kind of heavy. Let's see here.
That is really cool.
Here's the main canine, which is like Anubis, and it's got a staff, humanoid body. And each of them have symbols.
Wow.
Underside of it, which has some ETs with some wings and some curly tails. So I don't know if you can see.
Very cool. Well, that looks very reminiscent of Anubis from Egypt, ancient Egypt. There's actually a dog out of Mexico. It's from Mexico. They call it the Zolo, I think is how you pronounce it. And it looks very much like what I would think Anubis would look like. That's what the Zolo dogs look like. I know that's a short nickname it's got a longer name. I just don't remember what it is, but I call them Zolos. I think it's like XO too. So it's like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's like the
Zolos. I'm probably saying it totally wrong.
Yeah, I'm not good at pronouncing that one either. But yeah,
Zolos to the Zolos. Yeah.
Definitely a Mexican canine, and a god for the canine, which seems to be similar to Anubis, where it's a god of death in the underworld. So a lot with that. And here's the crystal skull for you guys. Well, one of them. I got two. I'll probably show you bits of the other one. Here's it when it's cleaned off. So it's very shiny and glows.
Is it crystal?
Yeah. It's quartz crystal.
Quartz? Oh my gosh.
You can kind of see it like more in depth. It's got like layers to it.
So you dug this up and you were just able to take it home and keep it?
Not quite.
Kind of? I'm not getting you in trouble, am I?
Yeah, no.
I'm just
and then
it's on loan.
We're part of a team, and other parts of the team are also making museums. So all taking things up and bringing them out to the world.
Perfect.
Yes, they're the censorship thing, but with special permission. Okay, so it's got the ET with wings on it. It's a little hard to see all the things, but it's got a UFO on it. Very overpowered. It's got a lot of superpowers in it. So these guys and all the artifacts I got, I purified, I depossessed, cleared. There's a lot of things from the Vatican. There's like a big fallen angel thing going on where they're trying to attach to Mexico back in time during the Spanish conquistadors and then control it. And so there's a lot of anchored attachment from that I had to clear. But it's overpowered and positive, and it will telepathically communicate with you guys if it likes you.
Very cool.
And can give a lot of abilities. It wants everyone to grow and thrive and get past our things. But I also got all these little guys too. So here's the guy that glows. He's very nice. They all have like cool abilities they meant, so you guys can trade with them. This one has emotional radio-based telepathy, longevity, plasma body, teleportation. And this is a type 3. It was made by humans and venerating an ET that I found, but it's actually entangled with an actual ET. This species is still on Earth. Some are dead, some died, some are still alive. They live long. Some are in stasis pods. waiting for some event to occur on the planet that's probably towards more disclosure.
Oh my God.
Um,
Sean. Oh, I can hear myself in the background really loud. There's an echo. Okay, it's gone.
I can't hear it.
Okay, Sean. I've been talking about okay, we've been covering, especially with like my remote viewing targets, giants in stasis and out of place artifacts in stasis. Like, and I say artifacts, a person. You've heard about the Teasel princess, right? The supposed 800 million year old princess found in Russia.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
800 million years old, but she was in stasis as well. Now, as far as her being 800 million years old, I can't confirm that for sure through remote viewing it. But I believe there was a woman in stasis, some sort of a tank. I'm going to call it a tank. They call it a coffin. I call it a tank. Okay. But wow. I just want the audience to notice. Y'all see how all these things are kind of connecting, y'all? Okay. Just putting it out there.
I got a coffin right here.
Oh, wow. That's really cool, Sean.
I'll go into each one of these more in depth so you can see it. If you want, like while I'm showing them the hieroglyphs, like if you can put my screen a little wider for everyone, but like not right now. But yeah, this guy, they're stasis. There are versions of him waiting. So there's definitely stasis pods. I've been reading that with multiple species. A lot of them have like a timer waiting for an event to come out that that benefits their species greatly. Something to do with humanity, because we're like a big experiment. A lot of races out of their genetics to us, over 10,000 plus races. A lot of them, like this one, can time travel and can go back in time and add their genetics. They see us like a garden, and the better we do and evolve, it like starts resolving things for their species. Like this guy, really weird. Am I allowed to talk about this? Yeah. They want a solution for it. So if anyone can help solve their thing, they have problems that go back with like wars and time with their soul, fertility and breeding. The species' original planet is missing, and I'm like, what the fuck? A planet goes missing? So I got to go figure out how that works. So there's a thing with a lot of species with connection to their home planet where their fertility works really well. And if they leave for a long period of time, their fertility starts breaking down. And so sometimes they have to go into cloning and or find a place of power that's able to secure their fertility. And so they're trying to figure out a solution to that to keep their race going even brighter. But they seem really nice. This one. Also, if you look at the alien species book in Russia, that was leaked by the KGB. There's got like 50 to 70, depending on the update, different ETs listed there. Some are just added, and the images are, some are real, some are manipulated. But one of the species looks very familiar to this. It's listed as the Shining Ones, which is cool because this glows in the dark. And of course, the Shining Ones can be multiple species, including in the Tuatha De Danann of the elves of Ireland, which do a lot of the crop circles in Earth and have advanced technology. That's one of them, but there's also deities and higher dimensionals that glow really brightly when they appear to humans and have been named the Shining Ones. This is one of them.
We talk about light beings, and my team's even encountered light beings out in the field, Sean. And it's just glowing, like glowing ETs.
Nice.
Glowing ETs out at the meadow, actually. There have been at least 2 instances of tiny, like, I don't want to say tiny, but like, 3 to 4 feet tall light beings. We got them on video. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I'd love to see that sometime. I'll share with you on that. So I'll give you the rest of the abilities. So they also, teleportation, generated energy for matter manipulation, an ancient pre-source type of energy in their gut brain that they access the hologram like a supercomputer, etheric creation and manipulation, mana creation and control. A cool ability I didn't know existed until I read into this. It's out of phase storage. Like you can put physical objects out of phase in his auric field to store them for later. Interdimensional resonance travel, location of themselves elsewhere. It's like bilocation, but a little different way they do it. Spatial place connection, where they can connect 2 places in a doorway, really awesome. And mental energy. This one is like an athame, so it's like a spiritual knife. Athames are not meant to touch blood or they lose power. It's meant to cut doorways and portals and cut cords. It's very good at a lot of detachment stuff. It's got
I need one of those.
It's got
Can
a
I borrow
cool. Go ahead.
I said, can I borrow that? I need it.
Yeah, if you come over, sure.
Grab it. Okay.
Yeah, next time you're in Mexico, come on over. We'll go to
I'll definitely hit y'all up.
We'll go to some ET sites.
Okay.
So this is also good at liver chi shield, which is like a chi emission you can emit off of organs to protect your whole body as a shield, and they're good at that. Really good at reality bubble magic. Has a DNA library that has access to 18 plus galaxy worth of information. Interactive tech with elemental hierarchy like dragons or with reality bubbles. They have their own type of dragon that's like it doesn't need a body. Some of the dragon, they're not the same thing as Draco at all. Draco wannabe dragons. There are light, dark, and neutral for dragons. Come from many worlds, suns, manifested management by planets to make worlds, realms, dream realms, fairy souls between planets. They're big. They're like made to be a peacock order of all elementals combined into a singular body with their form. Some have manifested in human bodies, shape-shifted, fell in love with humanity, made a DNA lineage like 4,000 dragon families on this planet, plus like the ones in Japan and China say they're royalty.
There's one in Alabama. We've got a dragon in Alabama. I've seen it. Petrified. It's petrified now. If you ever come up, listen, I go to Mexico, I'll come hang out with y'all. You come up to Georgia or Alabama, I'll take you to go see my dragon. Okay.
Yeah, I think America in its foundation of its language has to do with Quetzalcoatl. It's the land of Quetzalcoatl, and he's like a dragon, feathered serpent. So there's like the land of dragons with that. There's also one in Seattle that I know about. The Native Americans have a legend of a dragon. So I know the Native Americans have dragon legends. It's just a lot of this history is covered up.
Everything's covered up, Sean.
Yeah,
all the history's been covered up. I tell you.
So we got these little skulls.
That's cool.
These necklaces too. These are also type 3, so made by humans, the venerating, but they're very powerful too. Here's another one with ET face and some images on the top of the skull.
Those are very, very extraterrestrial with those elongated skulls. Very cool.
Yeah, and here's a jade or aventurine, long skull with a smiling face. Looks like he's playing a drum or he's got a giant hamburger or something.
Oh my God. He loves the burgers. I don't know. I don't know if there's burgers down there back 10,000 years ago, but maybe. We don't know.
Think that's something that's worth time traveling back into the past if you don't have it. But
yes, I'm all about the time traveling. Okay, I'd love to go back and see.
So here's also one with a dog person on it, but at the bottom I'll show you it. So it's got an ET on the top. So above, and it's got a staff, so it's venerated. Below that, it's got like a Olmec or Toltec face, kind of like priest class, maybe kind of thing going on with the headdress in the middle. And it's got a dog person at the bottom.
The cynocephali or Anubis or something like it.
Yeah,
I love that.
Underworld. And it's essentially a stone spear. Very overpowering protection.
I want some of those too. I see people in the chat going, "Man, I want one of those. I want some of those things. I want something with a dog man on it." That's fantastic, Sean. Oh my gosh. So Marianne in the chat said that you're borrowing them. That's what it is. Borrowing them for the museum, holding on to them for the museum. And
Sure.
Man, I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, okay, those crystal skulls. Okay, you've got that is a large crystal skull. It's literally been talking to you, and it can connect with people even who are watching the show right now. You can connect to it. What's the deal with all those crystal skulls? There's some sort of crystal skulls. I have not really examined them so much, like looked into them and researched, but there's supposed to be like crystal skulls buried all over the world, right?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I've read and what's told me, they got a big mission. There's time travel involved in their placement on Earth. They got a huge library of knowledge. They can pretty much do anything. I ask, hey, can you do that? Yeah. They learn very quickly. they upgrade DNA overpoweredly. They got a lot of superpowers. Mr. Skull, there's a spirit in it. That's a huge one, and it's growing as it comes back into its empowerment. And you guys trading with it will, and it'll trade with you, will support you, and it will support its mission. I got 2 now, and I'll show you the other one. This is an ET one. A lot of them are human-looking, anatomical, but this one's ET, and some of them are like in Indiana Jones, Crystal Skulls kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They do get way more powerful when they've come together. I noticed that too, and they like trading with each other. So there is a thing with the legend where the Crystal Skulls, when they come together, empowers a lot, changes the timeline. I agree with that quite dramatically, though I do think there's way more than 13. I don't know. Well, I think that's like a channeled message or something, why there's 13. There's way more than that, and there's multiple species of it, and a lot of them are put here for a big purpose. And we're like why Earth? Why would they do this for Earth? Earth is like a super overpowered planet in divinity tech, and it's where the biggest, most powerful in light, dark, and neutral come here for a big battle that will determine the rest of all time and the multiverse. It's a melting pot for the whole multiverse. Royalty that are brave, because it takes bravery to come into this meat grinder,
Yeah, it does.
have come here from multiple species and are incarnating as humans. Yeah, I'll show you the other picture of the Crystal Skull, since we don't have a ton.
Okay. I actually have some all those pictures that you sent me. I have them here, so I can show them. I've got like, is this it? Or is that a different one?
I think that's the first one I just showed you.
Okay,
So
that's that. I've got the top of a skull right here, I think. I may not have it, actually, because the rest of them I think you've shown. I do have this picture of you holding that pyramid, too, which is really cool. I actually took that pyramid and I blew that one up so we could see it right here in between both of us today.
Yeah, go ahead and show it.
Show this? Okay. That's really
Click
cool.
on this.
Okay.
Okay, now I got it, so I'll share screen real quick. Okay. I'll
show some of these others while we're waiting. These are some of the pictures you've shown, but it's just a little more zoomed in for the audience today. So
I got it now.
Whenever you get it up on. Okay.
Okay, got it here. Do you see these?
Yes, it's coming right now.
This is
Here we
the
go.
new crystal skull I got. And it's bigger than this one, but it doesn't have the eyes. The eyes seem to be of a different material. Might have bone in it. I'm not quite, which depending on what the hell bone that is, that'd be really cool to find out. It might have something to do with ET. So,
Wow, that's very interesting.
So here's a type of long skull with maybe a pine cone or like the pineal gland thing in its hand with wings and a curly tail. And this one also has mer people on it. Let me see if
It has mer people on it, y'all.
Okay, so yeah.
Mermaids are popular in Mexico, aren't they? I mean, you guys, I've heard of people having encounters with mermaids. I think it was like Cozumel, maybe. Okay, somewhere down in Mexico on a beach resort. There is a gentleman. I forgot. I don't remember exactly who he was, but he was a famous actor of some sort. And he said that I guess he had heard some commotion out in the water, and him and this little boy had like gone to it's like in a bay, a bay off of the coast of Mexico somewhere. And he said that they watched a merman. He said it was a man, I think, come out of the water. He said it was terrifying, actually. I don't think they're as beautiful as what we've been taught in our fairy tale books. Okay. Mermaids are not all beautiful sirens.
Yeah. I go heavy into that if I want, because I've had telepathic communication with mer people.
Absolutely.
They're one of my favorite ones. Like I contacted a siren race off the coast of South America. It was very strong, the telepathy. It was like I was definitely not making it up. There was like blasts in my face. They were sending me spirit versions of their species to upgrade me in telepathy, and it was getting really nice and bright in their telepathy. So I'd recommend them as one of those species to contact with, especially if you find a nice one. They're Yeah, like a nice siren race. There are multiple types of, fish-tailed kind of hominid species that go underwater. One's made by the Anunnaki, one's come from Sirius, one's from Pleiades, ones that are more humanoid, ones that shapeshift, ones that can come on land shapeshift, ones that can turn into an albatross, ones that have two tails like in Melisiphine in the legends with that Starbucks has that symbol off of. Ones from other realms. Ones that have like that blue look, like in Hellboy or the Shape of Water. There's ones with these. The ones here have long skulls. So I'll go
The
back
mermaids?
in a second when I find the mermaid. But here's a UFO. Here's a bird person like an ibis on the side, and I'll show you the other part of that. Here's like a one with wings, Saturn and some planets. One with wings here, and like an Ankh symbol. Let's see here. Okay, so here's the mer person. So it has this cool thing with gills on its head, and it's holding a sphere, which is also being held by this one. And the fishtail goes in the end, and it ends in an actual fishtail looking thing. And that's also on the other skull I have, but that one's on the jaw. And here's that bird person with the Ankh. So, and this is in Mexico, so they have an Ankh in Mexico. The DNA helix. And this one, I mean, let's see. Yeah, here's the Nubis dog person. And there's a guy in the top that's holding a pine cone. Now, I'm a little cautious with this guy, though I don't know exactly what's going on with him. I've seen him on multiple objects, so it seems to be a high-level deity in that culture at that time. He's got 4 wings. It's the only thing I've found with 4 wings. And it's either a beard, tentacles, or whatever is what I found with this guy.
Whoa.
His long skull. Now, some people like, oh, maybe it's like an octopus person, like Lovecraftian and all that. Though I get more of a positive vibe from this guy. Yeah, it could be. Though I think there's cephaloid races that are very advanced. Some are humanoid and some are just overpowered, intelligent octopi. So there's like a whole weird origin with them. So that could be part of his DNA, though I think he's like really advanced with the 4 wings. So I don't know what's going on with his DNA. I'll try to ask him. So there's that. And then I got, if you can put me on full screen, I'll show you up close.
Let's see. I'm not sure exactly how to put you on full screen here. I can try.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Oops, that just put me on there. Let me go back. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I screw everything up when I get,
I think you like click on my screen and at the bottom you click.
I know. Let me see. Let me try this one. Nope. We'll try.
It's like at the bottom you see my screen in the little sections. If you hover over that, there's like a middle kind of button that appears. I think that would be it.
Solo layout.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Thanks, Sean. Let's see if I can get us back to normal in a minute.
So here's a ET coffin with some hieroglyphs on it. This one I believe is 3rd type, which is made by humans venerating ETs. There's ET with wings. He's talking to another ET. They got planets around, a UFO, the ring planet, and a bunch of other planets. Which I think they are pointing to that they've colonized a lot of the planets in our solar system. So they do have bases. There's a triangle in his hand and below him. And I think plasma, because this guy has pyrokinesis. So that's like one of the overpowered abilities he has. And the coffin is really good at defense, fortressing, safety, protection, and it needs to because it seems to protect this guy as he grows in power. And it's got this little ET guy in it.
Oh, it's like those little Russian dolls.
Yeah, right.
It's something inside of something else. I love it.
And this guy, let me see if I can get you the list of what he's good at, but it's a lot.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, here we go. So he's good at evolution, creation, spirit protections, astral castle, rain summoning, which is very useful during that time, reality doctor, out of phase storage like the other ones, invisibility cloaking, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, aerokinesis, life energy, life extension, teleportation, and a layer of super strength that's more of like changing the weight of an object and mass. That's like in geomancy for like moving stones and pyramids and stuff. That's one of the things they're good at. So you guys can trade with them in that and support your upgrades. And I got a really overpowered thing for you, and then I'll go to mermaids.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, we've only got about 15 minutes left, which is plenty of time. We got plenty of time. We got to cover the mermaid thing today for sure. That's fantastic. What is that? Let me pull you back up so you can see it. Okay.
So it's got ETs all around it. Venerating, it's got markings and kind of like ruins around it. And it's got portal tech as like a window and communication system on the other end.
Don't portal out of here.
Yeah, right.
We need you.
Yeah, we're activating it. We're seeing it connects to like 14 planets in our solar system. I think there's more planets than they're talking about, which go to colonies having to do with this race. Very overpowered, very heavy. It also glows. It's got two types of looking stone, yellow and red on it.
It's a portable portal. That's what Leia said. That's awesome. You can just stick it in your backpack, portal anywhere you want. I love that. That is really cool, Sean. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing all these with us today. Like, this is really awesome. Man, I wish we had, I'm thinking about starting my show like an hour earlier just so that I can have more time, because I feel like I'm rushing through my daytime shows, y'all. I mean, it's just crazy. We have so much we could talk about. We could do 2 hours easy on the show today, but okay, let's go back and talk about that mermaid that you had on there, that mer person. You said that it had gills on its face or on its head, right? On its neck. Yeah,
I can bring that up in the image.
That is how people are. Okay, so there's all these viral videos going on, but there's one in particular from a guy whose name is Landon. Okay, Landon, and it's on TikTok. That's my most reliable news source these days, y'all. It's TikTok, and I say that jokingly. I swear, it's a joke. But he said, okay, so I was going to start this off by saying, well, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, now they're eating the mermaids. Okay, so they're eating the mermaids. Now, are people really eating mermaids? That's the question for today, because first of all, we're just trying to figure out if mermaids are real. Okay, I believe mermaids are real. 100%. There's a lot of videos. There was somebody in the chat had mentioned that Discovery Channel or the Animal Planet had a documentary on mermaids a few years ago. I believe that was not all real. Okay, unfortunately, it was made out to be like that was a real documentary on mermaids. Like Barry, I think Barry and I have talked about this before. Sometimes they'll put a couple of real videos in there, but they'll put a whole bunch of fake stuff with it. And so it kind of discredits all of it, right? So we don't know for sure what's real or what's not. But there was a video where Barry's always said, Barry Littleton, there's a video of a fisherman boat, and they've got a net, and they pull the net up, and it's got all these fish in it, and this hand comes out of the net, and it's got like webbed fingers on it, and then they drop the net, and it goes back down in the water. Now that probably cannot be faked. I'm just saying. I don't think that was fake. It's from a long time ago. And so I think that might be a real video. I think there are real videos of mermaids. There's even a video of a mermaid, Sean. It's not a mermaid, but there's like a deep sea, camera, a mission. These guys were down there, filming some kind of shipwreck or something. And this is so far down in the bottom of the ocean, and a fish swims by, and then a spear comes past the camera and spears the fish. Okay, like a human's not going to be down there that deep in this water spearing a fish. Okay, so it's really crazy. I think that mermaids are real. I really do. But then we got this guy that's coming out saying that when he was young, and this wasn't that long ago, he said that he came out of prison. Okay, came out of prison. He said the story goes that he came out of prison. He was looking for a job. He answered an ad for to be a deep sea fisherman for exotic fish. Okay, some kind of exotic fish, and he went out there and started, doing his fishing stuff. And it turns out it wasn't just fish. They actually were out there to go get mermaids. Okay. So, and they were actually using advanced sonar systems and all this technology to actually go hunt down mermaids. What do you think about that, Sean? What's the probability of that happening and people being able to go catch mermaids?
Well, I mean, eventually, though they're advanced civilization, they're highly intelligent, so it can be unethical. Though, there's a lot of legends. So I would confirm there mermaids exist. Some of them are telepathy, especially their priest class or their more psionic, higher up, like elite, and you can communicate with them, especially if you have their DNA signature or some type of energy signature you can track back. There's ones off the coast of Long Island where I lived, and I will show video of the concept of the siren song that's being emitted by a guy named Sauce 90, which I've talked to. Trying to get him on the show, it's so hard, but there's various civilizations in inner Earth through like tube systems where they create colonies. And there's like I found there's a United Nations version of multiple civilizations of type of mer people near Madagascar. They like to stay hidden. They don't want to get in the drama of the Earth. A lot of them don't like us. We pollute our Earth, and there's been threats back and forth. I believe there's communication between deep state aspects of the government that go involved in secret space program or projects that have communication with them. I've read into multiple people of my clients as well that if they have rare DNA, they get taken into a Seagate kind of project that looks out for people with rare DNA that can shapeshift into mer people, Syrian, seafaring people, sealies, which can shift into seals, dolphin shapeshifting, all kinds of things where they will force kind of drown them and then force activate through stress their DNA shapeshifting to breathe underwater gills. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes they shapeshift into another species and they're like, oh, cool, we can now use them as a way to infiltrate the society or try to create peace or trade agreements between that society. And so there's that going on, though with success, some without success. Some are more violent than others, some more protective. There'll be some trades. There's also trades with off-world spacefaring ones, as well as they've made colonies here. So a lot of the species will have homes on planet and off. Mm-hmm. There's a variety, but I would, if you can track them back and engage, if you've learned telepathy, which I can teach you, and Jessica, then you can start a back and forth conversation and see if they respond. And then that would lead to greater communication and possible like ambassadorialship, which I was doing with the siren species in South America, off the coast of South America. Very nice, overpowered, helped me a lot with telepathy and some abilities they have. Mm-hmm. And I was helping their species get rid of like curses on them. Yeah. They're very cautious, so there would probably need to be a lot of things for our species more openly communicate, because they are afraid, and with timeline viewing tech, that there are people that are greedy and would hunt them.
Corrupted.
And so yes. I would definitely agree there's probably some cannibalistic elites
Yes.
that would they're big into like trying to gain power by eating things, eating people, eating soul.
Where did all the unicorns go? Okay, maybe they were eating unicorns and stuff back then. Any kind of magical being. My gosh, I mean, this is for entertainment purposes only, and it's horrible. This is entertainment, but they're eating humans, other humans. I mean, we all know about the Cannibal Club, right? In New York, entertainment purposes only, and the whole child trafficking thing and all this kind of stuff. I know it's horrible to think about, but it's horrible to think that people are actually eating mer people as well. But it's not out of the realm of possibility because people will eat anything, and there's very like magical occult reasons behind it too, right, Sean?
Oh yeah, they steal their power. Yeah, evil doesn't earn their abilities; they steal them. They're like energy harvesting, big parasitic aura that attaches to multiple people, and then they get more power. They gain the bigger they get. It's unfortunate. It's evil, but like you can neuter that shit because dark sorcerers are kind of stupid. They give their power away to eat demons, and the demons are the ones that are most aware while corrupting their body and ultimately not serving them well for in the long term, especially. Here, I'll show you a video that goes. You can tell me if you've seen this, which is my friend Sauce 90. He gets followed by sirens off the coast of Long Island, Massachusetts.
No way. You actually have a video of the mermaids sirens?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, let's pull this up.
Fishing trip. Whole fishing trip. Heard no noises whatsoever until.
Oh, I've seen this. Hey, I don't know if I want to play this because we might get in trouble if we play too much of this. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll pause it.
Okay. Pause it and we can talk about it. Okay.
How about that? 5 seconds.
At the docks, though.
Do you hear that noise?
I heard it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's don't play it because I don't want to get this video taken down.
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Awesome. Heck yeah. That's freaking awesome. You know that guy?
Yeah, you can talk to him.
I would love to talk to him sometime.
Yeah, have him on. That'd be awesome.
Oh my God, please. Yes. We'll bring him on. Man, this would be great because I want to talk more about the mermaids and even the cannibalistic aspect of all of that. I know it's kind of gross. I really don't like talking about cannibalism and all those diseases that you get from eating humans eating humans and stuff. And there's all these questions like, well, aren't mermaids maybe potentially half human? Maybe they're not. I mean, there's so many different arguments for this in different ways, and everybody's got a different opinion. Mario was down in Florida at the Full Disclosure Now conference. He sent me a video today, this morning. I just saw it today, actually. But it was talking about the mermaids being eaten by the elite, and this girl had taken it was almost like an Alexa or something. She was asking it questions. I sent you the video. Maybe I'll add it down into the comments after the show today. But she was asking, are the elites eating mermaids? Why would they be eating mermaids? And the AI answer basically was that no, they're not actually eating the mermaids. What they're doing, it's almost like with all these other things that we've covered here on the show. There's something that's so divine, something that holds this divine energy and this all this information that could take us back to our origins of like humanity and the beginning of time, and it's been corrupted. They're trying to corrupt it, and so yes, they're trying to eat them, but they can't be eaten because they're not in the right density. Now I don't know if I believe that too, because it's just like with Bigfoot and Dogman. We got the flesh and blood camp, and we've got the interdimensional camp. Okay, so I think it's kind of the same with mermaids too. Maybe they can come in and out. Maybe they are flesh and blood, gills, and
we got people that want to eat clouds desperately, and they
clouds.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's definitely people that want to
full of chemicals now. Kim clouds. Oh my gosh! Yeah. Unless you want to get high or something, my goodness. But get pumped full of blood. Literally.
I'd say they are trying to, though it's a rare thing that when you make enough money, you're like, what can I get? And they want overpowered things, rare cryptids. There's ET mummies being found in like Guatemala and Peru and Ukraine and other places. So I'd imagine things would want to eat like I think there was people that wanted to eat little bits of mummies found in Egypt,
Yeah.
like jerky. So there's people that are willing to eat for power and of all
People
their
eat
DNA.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I mean, when it comes to especially occult practices, it's just taking the essence of that person and I guess their divine essence, or even if it's negative, it's a power thing, Sean. It's just all about power and control and
Eating blood, her heart,
eating blood, getting
multiple
those
types.
downloads from the blood. I guess I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, there's some DNA lineages that like are overpowered in evolution and taking or copying abilities based on what they eat. So they might not do that. A lot of people probably wouldn't know they have it, but might get the effects of it. But evil likes to figure out how they gain power no matter what. Drinking blood, eating person's heart, their liver, all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they have the unicorns. I read their real species. They're very hunted, so they're constantly on the move. Some of them can teleport and time travel, and they got the power in their horn to bring back a whole race on a planet that's gone extinct. They got overpowered magic. You can communicate with them. They will send you visions if you got their attention and they like you. When I went to Scotland and Ireland, I had a lot of messages from them in supporting some of their places of power. As Scotland's their national animal is the unicorn.
It is. That's
There's
right.
Alexander the Great seeing a unicorn. There's all kinds of things. I've seen them from multiple planets, so they'll even be hunted from different planets, looking for a planet that can protect them well enough. They're trying to figure out how to get rid of the targeting that keeps following them.
Oh my gosh.
So if anyone can help them with that, they would appreciate it.
Okay, well, let me go back. Okay, the mermaids real quick. So from that video that I watched today, whatever this AI thing that was talking about, like what's really going on, it actually kind of made sense, and I kind of resonated with it a little bit because it was talking about how the mermaids actually, because I was thinking about the orbs over crop circles, how they had been corrupted. That was something, if you guys want to go back and watch my video where I had remote viewed the orbs over that were making the crop circles with Barry, I talk about this in that show. And a lot of these other things that we're experiencing, we're seeing how corrupted things have become. And with the mermaids too, it's like the water, the people in power, the elites, whoever you want to call them, the elites with the little e's, they're wanting to corrupt the crystalline water as well, right? And the water's crystalline structure, I think, is what they were calling it. And so that's why we get all this pollution and stuff in the water today, because the water holds energy, it holds memory, right? And we with what is that scientist's name that dealt with the water?
Emoto.
Yes, that guy. Yeah. I mean, we see the power of water. Barry and I talked about it on Monday. It's important to bless our food before we eat it. It's important to talk to our water with love. Put love and light. Infuse love and light into everything you do, y'all. And but yeah, it's but there's a corruption with the water, okay, and there's something that has to do with unity and human consciousness and bringing it all together, bringing us all together. And they don't, and the people in power, people in charge, whatever. I mean, it's like the ultimate corruption to take something that's aquatic and holds the codes, right? The codes to humanity, and I want to say humanity, but just life and unity, and to take that and eat it. Okay, eat it. I mean, I don't even want to get into the children aspect of all this and the humans eating humans and things like that. But that's what it is, and it's sick and it's gross and it's terrible, and I wish it didn't happen. But I personally believe if they're able to actually catch a mermaid, yeah, they probably do eat them. I mean, why wouldn't they? I hope.
Yeah, there's people that go trophy hunting for big game or even near extinct game, and they'll try to eat those. So yeah, I'd imagine. Purifying water, that's a good way to get mermaids' attention and to get them to like you, especially if there's place of power in the ocean that you can activate. There are pyramids under the ocean too, like in Montauk. Near Long Island is where the mermaids are, near those pyramids in Montauk.
Really?
That, yeah.
Long
And
Island Bigfoot took a lake mermaid report from New York last year.
cool.
Yeah, you know Mike. He's in the chat actually. You know, Amy's actually okay. So thank you, Amy. Amy says years ago, my friend's husband found a dead one while surfing in a storm. They called authorities. A massive cover-up ensued off Pacific coast of Mexico. Sean, wow.
Yeah, there's a whole agency covering this up. Sauce90, after he uploaded and got viral for posting those videos, like government agents showed up on the fishing boat that he works at, and they started poking around, and he's been getting censored and all that, and threatened. So, yeah, to get there. So you can contact them, you can trade, you can gain abilities in purification of water and start healing rivers, lakes, especially ones with deep bottoms that might have cave systems, as well as into the ocean and island systems. They'll get a lot of people attention because they do have psionic sensing equipment and technology that can sense when things happen in the water. Some are very advanced, like the whole Poseidon connections, to where they can psychically connect with vast oceans and govern over them, and then monitor things that go on. Sometimes when you're like adrift at sea and you're gonna drown, you end up washing up on an island, being saved by something. There's advanced tech with that too.
Good point.
So yeah, I'd recommend anyone that's willing to work on purification tech. You're part of the movement that will get these types of races more in peace and unity with us, because they are very interested in that. Some have like water, aqua kinesis, and advanced communication, entanglement, remote viewing tech, communication with animals, can see through animals' eyes that come to you, and some that will be how they're looking in at people, especially with vast like psionic emissions, to where they would want to monitor that, and it gets their attention. As soon as you touch like the ocean, sometimes something is aware of you, such as even ocean consciousness or water elementals like Undine. And then they start in various areas and islands I've been to. I start connecting with a collective consciousness, some that have interacted in past lives. So then there's like a cool little download, and then I start getting information on the different races and advanced cryptids in the area, and it's really cool. And I'll start communicating with them and see what opens up later on. But yeah, I recommend people start making more peace and giving them an incentive to connect with more humans, because we can all work together and get things done that we're all wanting, such as healing the oceans.
Yeah. It's time to heal the whole entire world. And you start off by healing yourself. Okay, heal yourself. And then let's start working with these cryptids and get back. Because from that video that I watched today, they were saying, well, the mermaids want to come back, but humanity has been so corrupted, and they probably are being hunted. Okay, they probably are being hunted. And until we can get up to the level that we used to be on, as far as our consciousness goes, they're going to stay hidden. But there's a few people who are pretty high vibe and are in tune, who are psychically switched on, and they do get a glimpse of a mermaid occasionally. And so maybe that's why some of us have Bigfoot sightings, dogman sightings, and mermaid sightings, because we get on that level. So this is a great way to end the show, y'all. Work on yourselves. Let's all work on ourselves. Okay. And work on your psychic abilities, your psionic abilities, right? Right, Sean? Let's all do that to become switched on psychically, so that we can all start, let's get our grid going around the earth with all of our, telepathy and all that kind of stuff going. And if you guys need some help with that, please go to psionicleague.com, right, Sean? Please tell everybody where they can find you. And thank you so much for being here today, Sean.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I got more artifacts than what I showed you, by the way, so we can.
Well, I'm going to have to bring you back on. Please come back on.
Sure. We can
Okay.
remote view into the places of power for the Sasquatch and the dog people in Georgia near you, and then we can help you with
Yes.
some missions going. I'm Sean Bond, founder of Psionic League, psionicleague.com. If you want to reach me for sessions, consultation, clearing, healing, depossession, unlock your dormant abilities, abundance unlocking, video procs, mystery schools on there. You can also contact me at psionicleague@gmail.com for trip inquiry at the top. If you're interested in our Mexico sacred trips, we're going to take people to a bunch of place of power, pyramids, things with superpowers that unlock for them as we give back to the pyramid to make it stronger, to expand, help humanity do what it wants. ET artifact, place of power, ET contact, place of power will bring you to, teach you a bunch of abilities in mystery school. You'll meet soul families, some met love interests on past trips we did in like Egypt, and
Nice.
yeah, you'll be able to interact with these ET artifacts and crystal skulls, and maybe do some bucket list stuff for yourself that almost nobody can really offer you. And
I have to go to that. That sounds fun.
yeah, Mexico, we'll have you.
Yeah, right.
And we'll also be doing conferences. So this next one is Rion's Rise is the Guardian in Sedona at the end of this month. So come get there. I'll be teaching people how to become a guardian of Earth spiritually, to protect themselves, their family, and the planet, and make the timeline more gold and better as they learn more abilities and then run off with it into the Earth game. And I'll also be going to the Full Disclosure Movement .org full disclosure conference in Florida. I might see Jessica. I don't know. We'll see. I know
You'll
she's
see me there. I'm going to be there. That's July the 15th through the 18th in St. Petersburg, Florida. Y'all come see us. I can't wait.
Come down.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more in ET contact, how to connect with your ancient off-world soul family, DNA abilities, psionics protection, prevent negative abduction, and bring forth more positive ET contact. And so get your tickets now for those events. May do something in Las Vegas. We'll see. How do people reach you, Jessica? And
Y'all go to my website. Everybody go to my website, thecryptidhuntress.com, if you want to get in touch with me. And I do live shows all week, so everybody knows where to find me. I'm always online. Okay. I'm always here. And now we're streaming on X again. So go to Huntress Jessica over on X if you guys want to follow me over there and start checking me out over there. I love that platform. So everybody, if you don't want to get in touch with Sean, go to psionicleague@gmail.com and please go subscribe to his YouTube channel. It is fantastic. And Sean, I can't wait to have you back on. We'll get more into like maybe the dogman aspect next time you come on and really cover that. Today was really the mermaids. I know that mermaid stuff's going viral right now. Pray for the mermaid, y'all. Okay. And send all your love and light to all the mermaids out there today.
Yeah.
And
smash that like, subscribe to both our channels, leave a comment, show your love. Share this with 5 friends, a bunch out there, especially the mermaid soul family, the people you want to get ET proof out there. It's proof right in your face. Wake up your skeptical friends, your family. Get this out there, share it around. The more we see shared, the more we'll do these shows. Thank you all. Love you. Have a wonderful day. Unlock your greater consciousness. The world wants you to do it. Let's reach type 5 civilization.
We're on our way. You guys, please be safe out there. Everybody, you keep your head on a swivel, but do not live in fear and never stop exploring. Go on an adventure, y'all. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I'm either going to have Barry or Arkeem Ra on the show. I'm not sure exactly which target we're going with tomorrow, but it's going to be a good one, I promise. And Sean, thank you for sharing all these beautiful artifacts with us. I feel pretty high vibe now. This has been a fun show. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I will see you guys back here tomorrow night. Stay safe out there, y'all. And until next time, bye, y'all.
See you later, guys.